Hello, and welcome to Mr.ClixFlix. I'm your host, as always, Mr.Clix, working every day to bring you the best HeroClix channel available on YouTube. And in today's video, we're going to go ahead and do a battle report. My venue on December 24th had they called it a Two Turtle Doves HeroClix tournament for a Holiday Elf Assassin exclusive promo figure. Build restrictions were 200 points, had to be exactly 2 characters, and you could use ATAs but nothing else. So the team that I ended up going with was monster themed, which I didn't get a team bonus anyway, but it was still themed. And I went with Galactic Guardians number 26 Mole Man and Amazing Spider-Man number 33 Man Thing at his 150 point dial. I really like this team a lot. It was your basic Mole Man. Mind controls his friendly Man Thing, and Man Thing does his business. Typically what my plan was to have him, Mole Man, mind control Man Thing, into carrying Mole Man 9 squares because you have to take 2 off of his 11 movement. And then Man Thing with his own action to carry Mole Man again. And so then that's 18 squares. And actually for the tournament that made it so that I could cross the map with the map we were using and base my opponent, which is pretty much what you want to do with this Man Thing with his Witnose Fear poison special, which we'll get into. So let's go ahead and take a look at the keywords for these guys. Mole Man has the keywords of Infinity Watch, Monster, and Scientist. And Man Thing has the keywords of Legion of Monsters, Monster, Mystical, and Thunderbolts. And it pained me very much to not be able to use the Thunderbolts team ability, because this Man Thing does really good with the Skrull team ability stacked on him, just for that extra layer of protection. Team abilities, Man Thing has Mystics, Mole Man has nothing. So let's go ahead and get into what shows up on their dials. Mole Man has Phasing Teleport, Stealth, a special called Mole Man's Monster, and that's the crux of this whole team build, is that power. And this power says Mole Man can use mind control only to target characters with the monster keyword, which Man Thing does, including friendly ones, and that's something you normally can't do with mind control. When using this mind control, Mole Man is not dealt unavoidable damage and modifies his attack value by +3. So if you notice, top dial Mole Man has an attack of a 9, increase that by 3, now it's a 12. And Man Thing has a decent defense at a 17, but if you're rolling a 12 on a 17, a 5 you should get most of the time. Other powers that show up on Mole Man are Super Senses, which he has top dial, Willpower, Outwit, which is also top dial, and Close Combat Expert. And if you notice, he has a 0 range, but the minimum range for mind control is 4. So he has a 4 range for mind control purposes, but and 6 for Outwit, but otherwise he has no range. So let's get into Man Thing's powers. He starts off with a transport ability, or power, called T-Bolt's Trojan Transport, and it states Man Thing can use Phasing Teleport, Man Thing can use the carry ability, and when he does, he may carry 2 characters with the Mystical or Thunderbolts keyword, and his speed value is not modified by it. Mole Man didn't have Mystical or Thunderbolts keyword, so Man Thing did have to modify his movement, but it was still nice for the phasing to auto break away and to get to where you want it. Then he also has regular Phasing Teleport later on in his dial, and then Witnose Fear, and that's a special on his attack. And this came out really huge for me in this tournament. The special says, Man-Thing can use poison. When he does, instead of dealing normal damage, roll a d6 for each adjacent opposing character that can't be re-rolled. On the result of a 1 or 3, deal that character 1 damage. On the result of a 4 or 5, deal that character 2 damage. On the result of a 6, deal that character 3 damage. So 3 damage poison, and you didn't even have to attack. That came up huge. I rolled a few 6s in a row with him. I also rolled a few 1s. But, you know, normal poison's still good, especially for, like, characters with close combat combat reflexes and stuff like that, super senses. It really gets around that stuff nicely. Came up with a lot of 3s on that damage, which was just devastating for a few people. He also has regular poison, impervious, but that doesn't show up on his 150 point dial. That's only on his 200 point dial. He has invulnerability, which is on his 150 point dial. Toughness, regeneration, perplex, which again is only on his 200 point dial, and exploit weakness, which you can see is top dial on here. He has no range, no indomitability, has an 11 movement, 10 attack, 17 defense, and a massive 4 damage, which is just ridiculous. And Mole Man's stats are top dial, 8 movement, 9 attack, 16 defense, 2 damage, no range again. So really, just a good little team up here. Super meta, no, but really good for what we were doing. Like I said, Mole Man mind controls Man-Thing, phasing again to get where you want, so that you can use this poison power, and then basically Man-Thing's able to do something every turn because Mole Man's able to mind control, and he is very push friendly. He has Outwit on his first and second click, and then his third click he gets Willpower, so you won't be taking push damage anymore, although he does lose the Willpower, or not Willpower, Outwit, which is okay with me. You know, that's his Outwit wasn't that important to me, although it did come in handy a couple little times. So, yeah, the teams that I went up against, the first round was Raizo from Fear Itself, and the mighty version of Iron Fist. And my opponent didn't know that I was going to be able to cross the map on the first turn. So I won initiative, crossed the map the first turn to base both of his characters because he had them adjacent to each other, and had Mole Man Outwit whatever it was he needed to, and then Man-Thing to use his poison power, which I don't think until really late game I got the hires, like the 4s and the 6s. Mostly early game it was 1s. I think I did hit him for 4 damage exploit weakness, but he did ping Man-Thing down more than once. He actually got him down to his last click once, and really I was worried about it. And what happened was I was able to mind control Man-Thing with Mole Man, rolled for a regen for a 6, and then he hit Man-Thing again, but it was only for I think 2, so it knocked him down to that first regen click, and I rolled a 6 again for a regen, mind controlling again, and then just exploited with him to heal him basically up to top dial. So it frustrated my opponent really badly, taking Mystic's damage while he pinged him. Although Raizo Steel Energy offset that. Between the Steel Energy, or the Mystics, the Poison, he pushed Raizo a couple times, and he also, had the Steel Energy to offset those things a little bit, but in the end, it was just too much. That's one of the things I wanted to talk about at the beginning of the video. that I forgot about is Man-Thing has a lot of regen. He has 1, 2, 3, 4 clicks of regen all in a row, which is just ridiculous. You're not going to get knocked past it, is what I'm saying. You know, sometimes when you have like a Wolverine or something where, you know, the regen's tucked in there somewhere, you might roll right past it. This guy, you're not going to do it. You're probably going to get a chance to roll for it. And it's just frustrating on a Mystic's character when they do that. You know, you hope that you can out-action them so that they can't roll regen. You know, they would have to push to regen, which is fine. I do that, especially if somebody's on the last click. They're KO'd the next turn anyway, you know, most of the time. Yeah, if they're not going to get KO'd, then I won't do it. But if my opponent has the ability to take an action, I'm just like, you know what? I'd rather take them out trying to roll for regen than anything else. Mole Man, that first match, didn't take any damage and swept my opponent. So 1-0. Then the next round, I went up against the Arkham Asylum Deadshot and Mr. Zaz. Zaz is the guy with all the number marks all over him for the people he killed. Tag team of those two guys. And that one was pretty good. My opponent won initiative. He picked a map with hindering to take advantage of their stealth. But again, I was able to mind control. And for some reason, he kept Mr. Zaz and Deadshot right next to each other. So whenever I moved Man-Thing across the board with Mole Man, I was able to base them both. And Mr. Zaz has a soft defense. I missed Deadshot a couple times. I kept rolling 1s and 2s for the Wet-Nose Fear, so I wasn't able to get by the toughness top dial on Deadshot. And I also missed a couple attack rolls. So there for a minute, I thought I was going to lose. And his Deadshot hit me for 5 damage, so it was 3 damage after I reduced. With Range Combat Expert, even though he was based, he has Sharpshooter, and I wasn't able to outwit him because he was in stealth. So my Mole Man couldn't outwit him. So that was kind of a big deal. But I overcame again, and I think regen came into play. He had me whittled down to like my second to last click or my last click. Able to regen. And that's why I ran this, guys. Just because there's, you know, especially if it's a 2-on-2 match, you're going to have a hard time. You need at least 3 people to concentrate on this guy to hurry up and take him down so he doesn't have a chance to regen. Especially whenever you have somebody to mind control him. So that's how that went. No figure on my team was KO'd. I think Mole Man got knocked down to like his last click. Or second to last click. He still had the mind control power. So I won that one. And then the third and final match was against 2 100-point guardsmen from Iron Man, the leader of Alpha Flight. And that team was actually pretty good. It came down to just bad dice rolls on my opponent's part. He probably would have beat me. He won initiative and just moved his guys and moved them back to where they were to give him an action token. Crossed the board with Man-Thing and Mole Man again to base them both. He tried to roll breakaway with both of them because they had running shot and pulse wave. Didn't work. He missed them both. So then Wet-Nose Fear, I think I rolled a 6 for both of them to deal them each 3 damage. So that was pretty crippling. And then I mind controlled with Mole Man to hit one of them for 4. And it was brutal. And then what he did was he used Force Blast to knock my Man-Thing out of adjacency. And he also pinged him a little bit, so he was on, I think he had toughness. But he still had the Wet-Nose Fear power. And then he attacked Mole Man, knocked him onto his last click. Luckily, my Man-Thing still had, he had no action tokens on him whenever he got Force Blasted away. Moved him back up into adjacency. And that was it. He couldn't hit him. I think he did hit him one more time to knock him on a regen. Regen back up. And hit him for another 4 exploit. And I think I finished the game. I finished them both off with the Wet-Nose Fear power. I think I rolled a 4 for one and a 6 for the other one to knock him out. And I won the Holiday Elf prize, which is pretty cool. We played a quick pickup game after that just for fun, and I ran him, and he is really good. There's figure reviews going to be on this guy. Really good figure. Kind of neat sculpt. Out of all the holiday figures, this was the one I probably wanted the least, but after playing him, I really like him, and I was wrong. So that's all I have for you guys today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so that you can be one of the first to view my HeroClix videos as they become available. Until next time, please remember that it's only critical miss if you don't have probability control.